Imagine waking up one morning and finding out that your job has been completely taken over by a machine. No warning. No gradual change. Just replaced. This may sound like science fiction, but for millions of workers, it is already reality. The rise of automation and artificial intelligence has opened a new chapter in human history. Factories once filled with human hands are now dominated by robotic arms. Algorithms already write news articles, diagnose diseases, and drive cars. And every year, machines are becoming faster, smarter, and cheaper. But the big question is this: will robots completely replace us, or will they create a new kind of society where humans and machines work side by side? Let's start with the positive side. Robots don't get tired. They don't need sleep, holidays, or lunch breaks. A machine can operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In dangerous jobs, like mining, firefighting, or exploring space, robots can step in and save human lives. Imagine a future where no one has to risk death in a coal mine, no one has to lift heavy cargo on their own, and no one has to clean toxic waste. Machines could take on every dangerous and exhausting task, freeing humans to focus on creativity, relationships, and exploration. In medicine, robots already perform surgeries with more precision than human hands. AI systems can detect cancer in medical scans earlier than many doctors. This means lives saved, diseases prevented, and a healthcare system that could become more affordable and more effective for everyone. But there's also the darker side. When machines take over jobs, what happens to the people who used to do them? History gives us some clues. During the Industrial Revolution, millions of workers lost traditional jobs when machines entered factories. But new industries also emerged, creating roles that no one had imagined before. The same could happen again. But this time, the machines are not just replacing physical labor, they are replacing mental labor too. White-collar jobs that once seemed safe, lawyers, accountants, even artists and musicians, are now being touched by AI? If algorithms can design buildings, write code, compose music, and even create videos, where does that leave humans? One possible scenario is that we enter a golden age of abundance. Imagine a world where robots handle production, agriculture, transportation, and healthcare. Basic goods become cheap and plentiful. Hunger disappears. Dangerous jobs no longer exist. People are free to pursue passions, creativity, and learning without worrying about survival. Some call this the age of post-scarcity. With machines producing everything we need, money itself could become less important. We might see societies where people live comfortable lives supported by a universal basic income, while robots do the work. In such a world, humans could finally focus on what makes us truly unique: imagination, art, relationships, discovery, and the endless search for meaning. But the negative scenario is equally possible. If robots replace workers faster than society can adapt, billions of people could be left unemployed, without income, without purpose. We are already seeing hints of this. Truck drivers worry about self-driving vehicles taking their jobs. Call center workers are being replaced by chatbots. Factory workers compete with machines that never get sick or ask for higher wages. And unlike past revolutions, where workers could retrain for new industries, this time machines may outperform humans in almost everything. There may simply not be enough jobs left for humans. What happens to a society where most people have no work? Does it collapse into chaos? Do only the wealthy, who own the machines, grow richer, while everyone else is left behind? There's also the question of identity. For centuries, work has defined who we are. When you meet someone new, one of the first questions is, what do you do? If jobs disappear, how do we define ourselves? What gives us purpose when work no longer does? Some argue that this could lead to a cultural renaissance. Without the burden of repetitive labor, humans might find new meaning in art, science, community, and personal growth. Others fear that without the structure of work, people could fall into depression, boredom, and even social unrest. Another question: will all jobs disappear? Probably not. Some roles require uniquely human traits: empathy, emotional intelligence, creativity, leadership, and moral judgment. While AI can mimic these traits, it may never fully replace the human ability to connect on a deep emotional level. Teachers, caregivers, therapists, and leaders might still play vital roles in the future. In fact, these jobs could become more important than ever as society looks for guidance in a world dominated by machines. But even these professions are not immune. Already, AI tutors are teaching children languages. Virtual therapists are helping people manage anxiety. And some leaders are relying on algorithms to make decisions that affect millions. Technology has always been a double-edged sword. Fire gave us warmth and light, but also weapons. The printing press spread knowledge, but also propaganda. Nuclear power brought energy, and the threat of annihilation. Robotics and AI are no different. They can create utopia, or dystopia. They can free us, or enslave us. The outcome depends on choices we make today. Will governments ensure fair distribution of wealth created by machines? Will companies share their profits with workers, or hoard them for shareholders? Will we use robots to empower humanity, or to replace it? Some futurists imagine a hybrid path, humans and machines merging together. Brain-computer interfaces might allow us to connect directly with AI, boosting our intelligence and creativity. In this vision, robots don't replace us, they become part of us. Imagine having instant access to all human knowledge, the ability to communicate telepathically through technology, and enhanced senses and abilities. In that future, the line between human and machine could blur until we become something entirely new. So, what is more likely, a utopia of abundance or a dystopia of mass unemployment? The truth is, it might be both. Some countries, industries, and individuals may thrive, while others collapse. Wealthy nations may embrace robots and prosper, while poorer nations fall behind. Some individuals may gain access to life-changing technologies, while others are left with nothing. The future of work may not be one story, but many. For some, robots will be liberators. For others, they will be destroyers. And yet, there is a hopeful message. Every technological revolution has created fear, and yet humanity has always adapted. We may not know exactly what the future holds, but we have the power to shape it. Robots are not destiny. They are tools. How we use them will decide whether they create a better world or a worse one. So the next time you hear someone say robots will take all our jobs, remember, the real question isn't whether they can. It's whether we will let them, and what kind of society we will choose to build in response. Because in the end, the future of work isn't about robots. It's about us. If this thought experiment opened your mind, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Future Scope. Because the questions we ask today, about technology, humanity, and the future, will shape the world of tomorrow.